Hello, hello. Welcome back. This is your girl, Rochelle Jones with Girlstop. And we are here to remind you, be wise enough to listen so you do not make that same collision. And we are going to continue part 2 of It's Okay to Be Alone. Okay. And there was so much to dig into that we didn't get to do in part 1, but we want to do that now. We want to talk more and explain a little bit more about what it is that the benefits of being alone and how important it is to cherish those moments. And my sister is here with me to continue the conversation that we had. And again, my job is to be transparent. I'm not an expert as far as on your life, but I can talk about my own and my own experiences and make sure that I am transparent so you understand what it is that I'm trying to say. So hopefully you can avoid some of the pitfalls that I made over and over and over and over again. But God is good and He's faithful.
Yes, He is.
And I'm still here, and it's by the grace of God.
Come on, somebody.
So anyway, but we definitely want to go back into it. So we had left off talking about the benefits of being not being booed up or being in a relationship at the moment as you're in transition or whatever the case may be. But some of the things that are super important is to make sure that you are whole.
Cannot say that enough. That is so important. Oh my.
Very important. What would you say? I mean, just, you've been married for a very long time now. What?
13 years.
13 years. You've been married, got married at what age?
23.
23. What would you say? And I got married at 30. I had divorced at 38. But I got married at 30. But what would you say that you wish, as far as obviously you got married young, is there anything that you wish you knew more about yourself or,
oh my God,
being married so young?
So much. First of all, let's go back a little bit. I was so broken. I didn't even realize I was broken until I was good in my marriage.
Isn't marriage like a mirror?
It is such a mirror and a reflection of it's crazy. People, they just don't really know. I
tell people, if you want to know if you're really saved,
get married.
you either gonna be
get married. You think you saved?
I'm glad to fight that.
You get married, but no, for real, I really didn't know that I was as broke. It's almost embarrassing to say. I didn't even know I was as broken as I was until I got married. Until certain things would go wrong. And so it would be triggers. You know what I'm saying? It would just be all these different triggers. And I realized, I got some things that are really going on with Rozzy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I really just didn't know myself. I didn't really, we talked about in the last episode, taking that time to really learn who you are. Yeah, sure. And you said some really good things about, we were trained to get married, to be wives. And, what I'm saying? That's what we saw. Our mother got married at 18. My mother got married when she was 18 years old. Mm-hmm. She was a virgin. So, I saw my mom. I wanted to be just like my mom. I wanted to be exactly I wanted to get married just like mommy at 18 years old. That was my prayer. So when I became 18 and I didn't get married, I literally cried.
I know.
But I'm so happy God didn't allow me to do that. Could you imagine if He would have allowed me to get married at 18? Oh my God. But no, I got married 23. And like I said, there was definitely some things. I had experienced a lot of stuff in my early age. So there was a lot of trauma there. And so I was broken. And so I look back now and I realize how much I didn't know myself.
What would you have done differently? What steps would you have taken, knowing what you know now? What would you have done to prepare yourself for being in a relationship? Again, knowing what you know now about how marriage can really, and relationships can really bring out things in you that you didn't know needed to be healed.
I would have gotten counseling, some really deep therapy. I really would have. Doing it now, and I'm grateful for now, but I wish I would had gotten it earlier. Where we come from, they're getting better about talking about that. Yeah. But we weren't there, 13 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And so I really I can't express that enough. I wish I would have done the work for myself, and I would encourage anybody who desires to get married just to do it. Just take a few therapy sessions. I promise you, they are beneficial and they will help you. To sit down for someone who does not know you, someone who is licensed, sit down and just talk to them. You know what I'm saying? I can't express that enough. I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have traveled more. I wish I would have traveled more. I wish I would have seen the world. I mean, I was doing good at 23, had my own business, so, I mean, there's some more things that I wish I would have lived a little bit more, because when you get married and then you start having children, not to say that you can't live, because you very much, you can live, but there's certain sacrifices and certain things. Yes, it's because it's not just you, it's somebody else is in the equation now. You can just get up and go when you single. You can go, you want to go to Dubai, you can go to Dubai. You know what I'm saying? You save your little money, work a little overtime, and you can go.
Right.
But when you get married, maybe your husband don't want to go to Dubai.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe he want to go to Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? Or, somewhere, wherever you want to go. So, I mean, those are real things that you need to talk about. Or if something happens to kids or, something, you just can't get up and just go like you could if you were single. So I would tell anybody, live. There's certain, don't say, I'm going to wait till I get married and share this opportunity with somebody, because you never know what happens. Don't do that.
Don't wait for the share.
Don't wait for the share. If you want to go and you want to do something and it's in your heart to do, go do it while you're
you
single.
Can do more when you are with someone. The biggest lesson and the biggest thing that we're preaching is don't make being in a relationship when life starts.
That's what we're saying.
I'll live when this happens.
Learn to
go to the movies. By yourself. I mean, I know. Listen, my thing is you got to learn how to like yourself.
You have to love yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're thinking, if you think that a person
is going to validate
you happy or is going to make you feel, all the fulfillment and everything that you've been missing out on, then you've already stated you have a problem. You better love you. You better laugh at your own jokes. You better think you're beautiful. This one will do it in a heartbeat and will make you nervous about it because she's killing herself. God, this morning she was dying laughing. I said, my God, my sister's off.
Listen, I will talk to myself if it get good enough, and I will answer myself too if it get real good. Okay, so I mean,
but it totally true. Now I got married at 30, and in that I can say, like I said in the last episode, I don't really have any regrets on travel. I know I didn't travel for a couple of years after I got married, and that's just because I was having kids and just everything going on. But I didn't even realize that I had not really gone anywhere until a couple years into it, but I hadn't missed it.
No, because you were going out of country. You was going to Hawaii. You were going to Jamaica. I mean, where did not go?
I did that part. And I can truly say that was a strong benefit of that part being single. And I will also, this is very important as well, your environment. Your environment.
Very important.
If you are surrounded around people that are negative and are not motivated to really pursue life. I just have a thing with anybody who feels like once this happens, then this will happen. Like, I just feel like if you don't feel like God is giving you all the capabilities and gifts to do it, just whatever it may be, like I feel like that's too much pressure on somebody else to make so much happen for you.
Yeah, that's very scary. Yeah, don't do that.
And then if it doesn't happen in the time frame you feel like it should happen, then you're bitter and all these different things happen.
Right, and you'll be resentful towards that person.
That's the word.
Yeah, I had to make sure.
Yeah, that's it.
I feel like I was double dutching.
No, 1,000%. 1,000%. And then, you don't want that to happen, and then you miss out on what God has given you.
Right.
But being whole, there is a process to it. And you brought up counseling. I did do counseling for a little bit because I had realized that even though I hadn't gotten married, I had been in so many serious relationships that it was so much taken out of me.
Oh my gosh. We have so many stories with my sister. It was, my grandfather just passed away, and I think one situation, I think Grandpa, I think he did he cry?
my grandfather, if you knew how he wasn't gonna get in your business unless it got really bad.
And it got bad.
It got bad. And I forget, I was at his house and he pulled me in the bathroom and he was like, "Daughter, come here. Now, I don't mean no harm." That was his favorite phrase. "I don't mean no harm, but this guy, this ain't it." And when I saw the tears in his eyes, it was almost like he
was begging you, like, I beseech you.
I was like, "Grandpa, is it that bad?" I mean, if he knew Girlstop, he probably would have said it. But honestly, that is how he was talking to me. And it was like, when you got people around you, surrounding you, that care about you, they're not going to be afraid to open their mouth and say something.
Yeah.
And so for me, being obviously in the church, again, coming from the church, so then as I started getting older, people felt obligated to match me with people. You understand what I'm saying?
Don't do that. Don't, unless you have a "thus said the Lord" ministry.
I need you to have an arranged marriage spirit on you with success before you come to me.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Don't be, "Oh, you guys are both single. You guys both are in ministry. You guys will look good together." Don't do that. Don't do that.
I want to look good in real life.
It's the behind closed doors for me.
I want to look good when nobody else is liking your Facebook post.
Right.
I want a healthy. But I got into some relationships because of what people wanted me to be into. Like, people, their need for me to be in a relationship was.
You're so beautiful. You just don't need to be by yourself. My God, you're so beautiful. Nobody's trying to come and holler at you. I mean, people will put that pressure on you. You got to be okay. You have to stand firm in what you know. You know what I'm saying? God ain't gave me the okay. He ain't gave me the green light, and I'm not moving until he give me the green light.
You got to know that. And in that, had I, before that part came up, I thought about something. We were talking about job interviews and stuff today, right? And we're talking about, like, some of these employers ask specific questions. And one of the questions they ask you are, what are your strengths and weaknesses? And I feel like when you get to a certain age or when you get to a certain maturity in life, you know yourself.
Right.
Listen, we're not going to fake the funk. If you can't cook, or if you're not good at these different things, or whatever the case may be.
Or if you don't like to cook.
It's the don't like. Whatever it may be, you need to know that about yourself. If you need to take cooking lessons or whatever, just for your own health and saving money or whatever, that's obviously going to be a benefit. But the point is, these are things that you need to be able to be honest about. Self-care.
Yes, that's very important.
I mean,
very important.
We really, as soon as we find somebody, then we want to do all this things. Yeah, you got to make sure that stuff is a part of your regimen, your life. You know what I'm saying? If you're single, why can't you, take care of yourself? That's when you can do the little Trader Joe's and buy that expensive chips where there's 5 chips in there for $20. It's just you.
Organic.
When you get a family, you like, listen, it's the big Cheeto Puffs for me. Listen, but my point is, there's so much more you can take advantage of to better yourself overall.
Yes, that's the most important thing. It's not about getting yourself ready for somebody else.
Right.
It's about getting yourself ready for yourself.
Right.
That when you look in the mirror, you say, "You know what? I love you. You've been through a lot of stuff, but girl, you are powerful. You are anointed. You are beautiful. You are strong. You are brilliant." You look in the mirror and you can say, I like me.
Yeah.
So that's very important as well.
Very important. And here, I want to say this because I'm not a fake person. We are not by any means preaching be single, do it by yourself. No.
If you want to be married, be real with God. I want to be married.
I just want to make sure that you are evaluating yourself and the reasons of why you are wanting to be in a relationship, and make sure, I can't stress it enough, if you're not good with your current situation, then I promise you that next move, that feel of happiness, it is for a moment. It will not carry on throughout the years. It's not. That's not a real fantasy. I put something. I don't even know if I still have it. But I wrote so much stuff out as the years went on. And there was something that I wrote. I think it was like 2014. I can't even find it. But it was basically saying I thought the idea of marriage was that I would stay to size 6. I was getting out my black Range Rover, my stroller for Neiman Marcus. I was walking around in my little jogging, little soccer mom, just super cute and all that kind of stuff like that. And, life would just be different. You know what I mean? My expectations of what I thought it was going to be was totally different. It was work. You know what I'm saying? It was gratifying in my children and things of that nature. That was such a blessing. But it made me respect my life before getting married. No regrets at all. Mm-hmm. But I have to say, man, I wish I would have been more present in that time. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I could say that, I wish I was more present. I wish I really went through my years and examined myself and saw the growth. I think I just was so fast to get to the next part. Mm-hmm. I didn't really get to really embrace it and do all the things that helping others, just things that I didn't have to give an account for, right? Like, it was my time, it was what I needed, I'm not taking away from nobody else. So we definitely want to be careful of that. Being whole is important, self-care, knowing yourself, and being prepared.
Being prepared, that's good.
Being prepared, always being ready, being on top of your game. Like, I feel like people are made to feel a certain way when they say they do want to be married or they do want to be in a relationship. It's almost like if you say that, you sound weak, or whatever the case may be. But that's not a bad thing at all. I would say, though, just be prepared when the opportunity does come. One thing my grandma told me was, don't go to the mailbox looking crazy.
No.
And that's the truth. Sometimes you run into some good people at the gas station.
You never know.
Gas, we never know. And my point is, write the vision, make it plain. Even in our faith, God talks about that. Faith without works is dead. Like, you can't get mad if you're not approached and you look crazy all the time. Like, you can't go to Walmart in pajamas and then.
Why Walmart?
I don't know what it is with the pajamas. It's not a real look. But people wear pajamas to the Walmart.
Don't do that. If you're doing that, I want you to stop in Jesus' name right now. I stop doing that. Do not leave.
Cute pajamas out there.
No, don't you? No, don't do that.
It says Victoria's Secret. It's still not appropriate.
Don't do that. No.
But these are things that, again, being told was so important. It changed my thought process on everything, because when you take pride in yourself and when you know who you are, first of all, you know what you're not going to accept.
Absolutely.
When you know where you're going, you know what won't get you there. I may not know everything to get me there, but I know what won't. Okay, I know that ain't it.
That ain't it.
You know what I'm saying? And so we definitely want to, again, encourage you to take the time, get to know yourself.
Yes.
Don't make people rush you into something you're not ready for. Be honest with yourself. Again, I can't stress that enough. I don't care what people may see, because when people saw me,
my sister had it together. Okay, let me tell you, she was making all the money.
It was some good money.
Shelly was making. You still make. God's been good to you.
God's been good.
God's been good.
That was really good money.
Shelly was making all the money all by herself. Had her own mortgage going on because she had her own spot. Going on trips. She was always fly. My sister had the cutest, the furs, the leathers. All of that. My sister kept it. She really did. She kept it all. You just looked at her and you would be like, that's why people were trying to hook her up. We were trying to figure out, why is you single? Why is you single at 30?
Well, on the outside, I figured it out. It was the inside that was jacked up. That clearly was not all the way there. There was some lack of confidence. We're going to talk about the next episode.
Right.
The importance of confidence in who you are. And even though I had all that going on, even though I had the new house and the Mercedes and all these different things that looked like I had it all together, on the inside, I wasn't secure in Shelly. I wasn't secure in what God had called me to. So again, not knowing what exactly I was supposed to be doing and the path I was supposed to be in, a lot of people got through the door that should have never got through the door. And again, if I was clear on where I was going, and if that was in front of me, that visual was in front of me daily, where I reminded myself of who I was, that would have prevented a whole lot of mishaps.
Right.
And I'm serious. Sometimes, I'll be honest with you, daily you have to remind yourself of where you're going and who you are, because there can be so many distractions that pull you. I'm telling you, have you ever made up in your mind you were going to do something and it was like that day? It's like, today I'm going on a diet, and then your job does a potluck that day. You know what I'm saying? That day they want to take you out to eat.
It's that day for me.
You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. I mean,
no,
you ever did that where you're like, okay, I'm going to start saving money today, and then like a sale or something happens.
Or your car goes out.
Or okay. You know what I mean? And you have to be mindful of the fact that that's always going to be the case. There's always going to be
something. It's always going to be something. It will always be something.
Every time you say, I'm going to be single for a year straight, I'm not going to talk to nobody for a whole entire year. And it's like out the blue, somebody hits you up. It could be a pass, it could be whatever, and it tickles your emotions. It tickles you, and you look up, and it's 12 o'clock at night, and you're talking to somebody, and you like, I just said I was going to be single for a whole entire year, and so these things are real. But you have to make up in your mind, what do you want for yourself? What does God want for you, first of all? And you have to move in that direction. And I'm telling you, you can't go wrong by seeking God first.
No, you really
especially in a relationship. So we just want to encourage you again. Keep going strong. I love you guys. I'm so happy that you're tuning in and you're listening. I hope I'm helping you. I hope I'm encouraging you.
Yes.
Remember, Girlstop. You are amazing. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Be wise enough to listen. Please don't make that same collision. You got this. Till next time. See ya.